He's too stupid to realize how important paper is. We know paper doesn't grow on trees. And we know trees won't walk to the factory. We know that equipment harvesting trees to make paper needs efficient fuel, not batteries that need a full day to recharge. Thousands, no make that millions of trucks running 24/7 to supply you with materials, food, clothing and everything you wear, eat and drink. Speaking of eating and drinking. How about those carbon tax pigs who preach, do as I say, not as I do? While they go on an affordability retreats, to suck back the proceeds they stole from you. The problem with electric trucks that the brainless half-wit liberals can't seem to understand, is explained here by professionals.
And let me be clear, if battery electric trucks had adequate range, there was adequate charging infrastructure, and utilities could deliver the power, we truckers would be delighted. But let me explain our reality. Today, a clean diesel truck can spend 15 minutes fueling anywhere in the country and then have a range of about 1,200 miles before fueling again. In contrast, today's long-haul battery electric trucks have a range of about 150 to maybe 330 miles and can take up to 10 hours to charge. So for the same 1,200-mile journey, we'd go from 15 minutes of fueling a clean diesel truck once to charging today's BEV 4 to 8 times for dozens and dozens of hours. And this is assuming there are chargers where you need them. We would need far more trucks to haul the same amount of freight, and each of those trucks would cost 2 to 3 times a comparable diesel truck. Converting the U.S. fleet of Class 8 trucks to battery electric would require a $1 trillion investment. Remember, we deliver food, medicine, baby formula. Failure is not merely inconvenient, it's catastrophic. Thank you, and I look forward to answering your questions.
This fuel is literally our survival because not everything can be electrified. Batteries are not reliable in emergency vehicles and these will never run on electricity. Without these trucks, your batteries aren't worth the crap GillButt is selling.
We're eliminating subsidies to produce fossil fuels in Canada, whether it's oil, gas, or coal.
This guy is the worst idiot ever walked the planet. No concept of reality. He has the intelligence of a tree stump. In Canada, 35% or 5.1 million homes are currently heated with natural gas furnaces. Does GillButt have any idea what it would cost and how long it would take to convert those 5 million homes to electric heat? You can't fix a stupid liberal. Not everything can run on electricity. No fossil fuel, you can bet you'll starve your ass in weeks. Some vehicles will never run on electricity because with batteries that big, they could only run every other day to recharge. Wake up and smell the coffee and hope your house doesn't catch fire while the fire trucks and ambulances are being charged up. Hope that your electric car isn't on the highway in a snowstorm. Electric buses. Expect lots of snow days, it is Canada after all. Then again, if GillButt has his way, we won't be building roads anyway or visiting Aunt Gertrude anytime soon. Maybe we could have the United Nations create an agreement for a ceasefire every 4 hours to recharge our military vehicles during an attack. This is obvious. One of these already is certified. The other could be a solution. Shock therapy or something like that. Dear Mr. GillButt. Gas and oil are not the only pipelines. Every city, town, and village has miles of sewer and water pipelines. What else won't be running on electricity for a long while? Please tell us where you will get enough electricity for the 5.1 million homes that are currently heated with natural gas. And the 26 million road vehicles currently operating on our roads which you don't want to build. Or the 2,399 diesel locomotives hauling 53,970 freight cars. What about the 300,000 aircraft refueling at the 90 airports in Canada? How much electricity will you need to replace the 62 billion liters of farm fuel on the 189,874 farms in Canada? When you ban fossil fuel, there are 435,724 people employed in Canada's direct and indirect gas and oil industry, including transport truck owners and drivers in Canada. While these ignorant politicians, Stephen GillButt and Jonathan Wilkinson, who publicly said these 435,724 workers can just step into a clean energy job any time. What a maroon. Listen to this for a few seconds.
The project is spread out over 3,300 acres. That's about the size of 1,600 CFL football fields. There are well over 800 jobs during the construction phase, though it will only take about 10 people to run the completed solar farm.
Okay. Let me repeat that. Canada's largest solar project in Alberta, the $700 million Traverse Solar Project near Vulcan, Alberta, needs 800 people to build it. But only 10 people to run or operate it. The other 790 can go kick rocks on their way to the back of the unemployment application line. All the while these greedy, stupid parasites still collect carbon tax from those out of a job and give it to their bureaucrat friends. The greenwashing will turn this country into a wasteland right before your eyes. But wait until you see what a lithium mine will do to the land and groundwater. Here's a great carbon tax win example. British Columbia has had a carbon tax for 16 years. The result? They have the highest taxes in the country, the most homeless in the country, the highest number of overdose deaths in the country, the most emergency rooms in hospital closing events in the country, the highest home prices in the country, and they succeeded in letting 36 homeless people freeze to death during a cold weather event. BC also managed to tear down a homeless camp 3 days before last Christmas.
And the coroner is reporting 36 people have died outside so far this year. These include people who passed away in both public and private spaces outside, including places like sidewalks, parks, parking lots, campgrounds. Most of the people who died were in the Fraser and Vancouver coastal health regions, and a quarter over the age of 60. Now, despite our record cold snap to start 2024, if we do compare to this time last year, 34 people died during the same period in 2023. It's also been a very busy time for emergency officials with 90 hypothermia and frostbite calls in the last week and a half alone. And of course, as we know, another cold night.
If Canada were to cease all carbon emissions, what difference would it make to the climate? About as much as that pimple on your ass. Look at these facts. Currently, Canada's emissions contribute a whopping 1.89%. News Wilkinson and GillButt will have you believe BC's carbon tax reduced their emissions by 15%. That's fake bullshit. Since Canada's total emissions are only 1.89%, that means a 15% drop is only 0.0945% of the world's carbon emissions. To top that off, the 15% drop is due to the pandemic lockdown. Not the carbon tax. And these brain-dead shysters want you to believe they can actually save the planet. In the meantime, people are homeless, hungry, and freezing to death. Because of the dumb, stupid, fanatics in government, media, and gullible people who love to believe the propaganda. You're being fleeced by your own government. They are nothing more than parasites and the people are their pawns. You are only 1.5 degrees from being a certified sucker and branded as stupid.